So what I'm doing today is a little process that I created when I don't know what to draw, or I want to warm up, or I want to process feelings. Basically, when I'm facing a blank page, I have a little process that I created that I'm hoping to start making more videos about and just start showing. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to start doing that today. So what this process is, well, I'm going to do a feeling doodle right now. So for the feeling kind, what I do is I just take my pencil or whatever it is that I'm using to draw with, and I channel my feelings into the pencil, into my arm in the pencil, and I just start making marks on the page, just with, I'm feeling soft and slow. So this doodle is soft and slow, and I'm not really paying attention to where it's going, taking my pencil on a soft and slow walk around the page. I'm gonna take a look in the camera. Can you see any of that? Yeah, you can kind of see that. And my shadow when I hover. That's cool. So we're taking it soft and slow walk around the page. And then at some point when I feel it, I stop. And then I start looking for shapes of something that I recognize, or abstract, or whatever jumps out at me. And right now I'm just seeing a bunch of lovely abstract shapes. So I'm just going to just make some of these start popping out of the page. Just feeling like outlining things that I see, making them pretty dark so that they're more visible in the camera. Yeah, that's pretty. There's some pretty fun shapes today. And my goal here is not to make a masterpiece, though I have to say, once in a while, I wind up coming up with my favorite drawing, my new favorite drawing, but that's not the goal. If that's the goal, then I'm not going to reach that. I'm just letting some feelings out, and I'm just feeling lovely. This is kind of looking like shapes on a lake. This could be little, maybe this is like weirdly shaped leaves. At first I was going to say that this kind of looked like eyes and I could make a monster. Monsters are always my default when I don't see anything else, because cute monsters are just fun. But I am seeing something here. I'm going to make some really weird abstract leaves because these aren't normal shapes, and I think that could be kind of fun. Gonna round off these edges. That one's not rounded, but I think I'm gonna make it kind of a little stem. Also, do not be afraid of the eraser. Eraser is a tool, an artist's friend. Hmm. I have big visions for this channel and my other social medias, and I've been a little bit paralyzed in actually starting and doing something with them. And I just started taking a YouTube course who gave such a great first tip, which was for those of us who don't like pre-recording and who get in our head about that, which is me. I'm really good with live audiences, as exemplified by giving, I don't know, 100 workshops or more over the last few years, all live in my work that I was doing. When there's an audience, I don't get in my head anymore. I'm just there for the people. Although now I'm experimenting with how to keep my own energy in and not just be there for everyone else, because then I'm kind of giving myself away, and that's draining to me, and that's part of why I've had some troubles lately. And especially with this kind of art, like this is just me doing some feeling flow. So we'll see how this all goes. But I was inspired by that recommendation of like those of us who get in our head do a live. I'm like, ooh, let's try that. Let's try drawing live. I can always edit it before it goes to other places, or even here, if I wanted to. Okay, these feel like organic enough. And then I'm going to give them all kind of middles. Ooh. I'm not entirely sure what lily pads and leaves look like, and I could go look up reference photos, but this is just kind of an abstract, whatever I'm feeling kind of drawing, so I am not going to look it up. And I kind of like I've been learning how to draw realism, but also I really like the look of things that aren't quite right. That is my other main kind of drawing. Now I'm going to do a little shading on these leaves. I wasn't sure, leaves have sections. I wasn't sure at first if I should do them as sections, but I'm feeling like keeping these all smooth. There'll be a little bit of indentation in the middle. Also, a little trick that I learned, I'm just learning about shading and things. And so when I'm doing it from my head, when I'm not doing from a reference where I can actually see where the shading goes, when in doubt, just do the edges. I'm laying down the edges now, and I'm going to do the blending second on the next pass. And you'll see when I blend it with my wonderful blending stump, which I'll probably make videos about in future because I'm a recent convert. Blending stumps are the best for pencil and graphite and things like that. So my next pass will be the shading and the coloring it in a little bit. In addition to the shading, letting the picking up this color on the edges to bring it into the middle. One of the things that I learned about blending stumps is they can apply color to sections that don't already have color. and just get a really beautiful effect. I'm kind of debating if my future videos should be more about the self-care part or more me nerding out about these art things that I've learned, or both, like today, where it's really, this is a self-care thing that I'm doing, but also how fun to tell you a little bit about my art thing, nerding out art things that I've been learning. So I know when I start blending, these middle and some of the edges might start blurring, but I can reapply at the end. So I'm pressing medium on the edges, and I'm pressing pretty light in the middle where it's a lighter color. Ooh, I kind of wish I had made these more, well, I was about to say I wish I made them all more convex like that one, but actually, no, that looks good. It's like little leaves floating on top. I feel like I went a bit too dark on that one in the middle, but other thing I've learned about is kneaded erasers. I just grabbed a piece off and boop, lift up some of that color. There we go. It's kind of interesting how each one is coming out different, but that was part of the idea of this anyway. That they're all just weird shape, leafy things, lily pads or something, just kind of floating on top of this water in a nice, peaceful way. Nice. Now, normally I lift up the page and squint at it and see and pull away from it and see where I'm at and what needs to be done, but I don't want to move anything from this camera. So I'm gonna hover. You might see my shadow. Ooh! In fact, seeing it through the camera lens is pretty cool. I like that. That's fun. That gives me a new perspective too. Feel like some of those edges are a little bit harsh, so we're gonna blend those out a little and then clean up the edges after. And they can become part of the shading. kind of like a little deep, way more curved than probably leaves on water would be, but that's okay. And then after this, I'm going to try doing a little weird abstract water around and beneath these leaves. Ooh, I like it. I was worried that being on camera, I would not have as much like relaxation that I get when I'm drawing, but I did some things to put myself in a good mental headspace before, and I'm not sure about the talking so much, but I'm definitely getting into the flow for sure. That is working out. Right now I'm using a micro eraser that can get in and get those details, so this allows me to be really precise of where I'm cleaning up. One of my future thoughts is to put little kits together for people of drawing tools that I use. It was a whole project to find all these specific tools from a course, and they are so good. I recommend them so much. And I'm like, oh, I could save other people all the hassle that I had of trying to find everything. Especially if you like the style. I have two styles of drawing right now. One is super colorful, and the other is this black and white, which you can see on my social medias and on my first little gallery that I just put together on my new art website, jilliosity.com. And if that doesn't work, then jillbinder.com. Somebody had troubles with the Jilliosity with it coming up. Graphite smudges, and so when the little eraser pieces are on the page, I have to be careful of how I clean them up. That is one of the tricks. Okay, let's take a look. Ooh. And now, it kind of looks like leaves, weird shaped leaves kind of in the wind, as opposed to on a lake. Which one should I go with, wind or lake? Just as an experiment, just to see if I can, we're going to go with the lake concept. So I think there would probably be some ripples around each. Maybe a little lighter than that. Can you see that? You can kind of see that. I'm going to try to do that amount of lightness. Also, pencil control is a thing that I'm learning, which this is a good exercise showing how I'm not that smooth yet, but I can practice. one of the exercises for smoothness is to outline something that's already been done. So it's kind of like that. I actually don't know if these would be ripples like this or if they would be like movement ripples. And I'd have to look up how to do movement ripples. And I don't feel like looking up reference photos right now. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Ooh, faster is smoother. That's nice. I think some of them would be like broken up a bit. We're going to add some broken up ripples. Especially here where they're like bumping into each other. I could be wrong, and art people don't really need you to correct me because I can look it up later, and I don't care right now. I'm not going for accuracy here. Going for what looks fun and good. Ooh, I like that. So to make it look more watery, I think having some like, gonna kind of go around, make it look like some cohesive water wave things. Ooh, that's coming out nice. I like that. So with this kind of doodle process, I assert that one does not need to know how to draw. I started doing this with much less skills and came out with some really cool, just weird looking things that I just love so much. You know what? I think this might be done enough. I like it. How fun is that? Part of me wants to color it, but get some of that blue in. You know what? I'm not going to color it, but I am going to shade the water just a little bit. Just in places. I'll just get some of these waves can have a little bit of color to them. Water has kind of different tones, and one of the cool things about black and white is I don't need to emulate those tones. I don't need to figure out where the blues and greens and browns go. I can just focus on different values. Right now all my smudges are of the same values. I might just kind of leave it like that because I really want the leaves to be what mostly pops out. I wonder how long this video is now. Oh gosh. My goal is that this is something that's fun to either draw with at the same time or just kind of have it on in the background as like a nice calming thing to have beside you while you're working. I didn't put any shading. Ooh, that's looking so nice. I love it. Didn't put any of the shading in the ripples around, but I feel like I should, like at least a bit. Like that's where the water's kind of disturbed, so there's probably some stuff happening. See how that looks before I do them all. Yeah, and a little more too. I keep thinking I'm gonna stop, and then I'm like, wait, gonna do another little bit. We'll see how long this video turns out to be. But that might be a nice calming thing, seeing my little random feelings process. My feelings are not always so calm as today, but I'm working on it. And the things I did today for self-care to feel calm worked out. I'm trying to get the color in without touching those lines, because I want those lines to still be sharp-ish. Now I'll just sharpen up some of these parts that got smudged. And then pretty sure we're going to call it a day, but also I've thought that a few times. Ooh, it's getting kind of a double, but I don't mind that. That actually looks pretty cool. That my tracing isn't exactly right, but that's kind of a cool double effect. Often, with the level of art that I'm at, something that I try to do turns into something else, and I'm like, okay, that isn't what I meant for my hand to do, but I like it. Yeah, so, okay, I'm looking through the camera now. I'm like, oh, I see other little things to fix. I should stop, but just a bit more. Just a bit more. Boop, boop. Yeah, okay. That's it. That's it. Okay, so thank you to anybody who's been watching. I'd love, if I do keep this up, I would love comments, except for my art skills. I don't really want to hear about that at this time because this was just a free flow, no art particular mastery, just what I call touching paper, just calming by putting a pencil to paper in any fashion. All right, have a great rest of your day. Ooh, tagline, ending thing from Giliosity. Have a great day. Touch grass, touch paper, light a candle. Okay, we're going to work on that. Bye.